everyone, and welcome to the WebNav podcast. It is your boy, Toastify, I guess. I don't know why I'd start with your boy, but I'm here, you know what?
Fuck your boy.
It's your boy. I'm here with my good friend Spinling on the first episode of the WebNav podcast. We just decided, we'd make a podcast because we have a lot of calls, and we talk about a bunch of shit that wouldn't really fit in a video. They're either too small or too big. So we thought we'd make a podcast and just talk about it. Or too boring, that's true. So instead of like a big edited video, here's a podcast where we just yap about all this stuff. That being said, it was there was a difficulty on setting this up, wasn't there?
Yes. Oh fuck. Bringing back plagued minds.
Plagued minds from yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. My circuits have all shortened. Yeah, that was fucking terrifying. I shit myself.
So to give you context, we were setting up this podcast. And we did it on I think Spinling did it on his account, and it was a brand account. So we were like setting everything up, this is gonna be fucking great.
I made a new email.
Did you make? Well, hang on, nah, you put it on your business email, didn't you?
I made it a new email, but I linked it.
Ah, okay, I see. So you made a new email.
What the issue was.
And Spinling actually has a bunch of channel violations because he's been sending gore to everyone's DMs on email. So unfortunately, no, that's not what happened.
I was a menace.
That's a joke. No, that's not what happened. What happened is that he made it a brand account, and YouTubers are kind of things. You can make brand accounts and get like multiple channels on the same email. And it used to be a meta back in the day. I remember, I got fucked over hard because one of my friends was like unknowingly using brand accounts to boost my channel, and I was like, dude, I don't want this. I want it to be like natural. I don't care if I get like under 100 subscribers. And you've been making a shit ton of them. I was like, holy fuck. Like, how many have you been doing of these?
T-Series used to do.
But they did not make brand accounts. No,
they made a bunch of alts connected to their account.
Did they?
And that's what the issue with us was. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, what I imagine
that's why
is
they had so many like T-Series accounts, like T-Series India, T-Series like. Spain.
No, but that's normal. That's normal to have for music channels. The thing is with T-Series is that in India, certain I think phone brands and phone companies, when you load it in, they would give you like a channel with T-Series automatically subscribed on your phone. I think that's how it worked.
Oh.
So they'd have that initially.
For Wall Street.
Literally. Anyway, let's get back onto the main topic of the video. I mean, we may as well just talk about where this all came from. Why are we talking about Twitter fame from this? Obviously, you may know, because I'm the only one here who has uploaded in the last 120 days. I made a video on...
I think it has been 120 days.
I made a video. It actually exactly has been 120 days because I was looking on your YouTube studio. You were screen sharing it, and I was like, I saw that. I'm like, I'm using that.
Wait, hold on. Fact check.
Yeah. Check your thing right now.
122 days and 2 hours. I'm washed.
You're washed.
I'm chopped.
You're literally washed. Yeah. So obviously, I made a video on Fallen Chungus. Now, for those of you who don't know who he is or have forgotten, he's got like a kind of fairly popular Twitter account, or used to be, who posts like comics online. I remember, Spinley, you said you were like kind of an early follower of his stuff. You were an old head, yeah. How was that?
He was funny. I think he still was, even when he was crashing it. Unintentionally funny as well. He just did like the basic, like Friday Night Funkin' kind of like joke comics. And I was really against Friday Night Funkin' because I used to see my little cousins play it on the iPad.
That's your only motivation? That's your only motivation?
They would play that one mod. They would play that one mod where it's the fucking guy with the bomb head just going... And it used to fucking it used to piss me off. I'd hear it at the family gatherings.
Yeah.
So I followed the one guy who made a Friday Night Funkin' joke. I was like, got a boost.
And that's how you started following all his accounts and stuff. Well, obviously, you might have heard of him. If you don't know what his name is, you might have heard of him from the whole, bro visited friend meme, where it's the two characters, making fun of, the overuse of the word bro.
Basically, he became like he was the chill guy of Twitter. Do you remember that big TikTok meme where it's like, I'm just a chill guy, and it's the Brian Griffin,
knockoff. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That was kind of like
that.
I didn't really think his position was like that. I kind of just saw him. I didn't follow him, but I kind of just saw him as a guy who made comics, and that's it. And he made funny comics, and that was kind of all I saw them being spammed around everywhere. So,
well, if you mean by his biggest one, sorry, I'm away from my mic. If you mean by his biggest one, I would have compared it to the chill guy one, but that's
But he didn't make the
Yeah.
chill guy one. He did not make the
No,
chill guy.
no. But I'm saying it was on that like meme level where
Oh,
people
I
would
guess
just put
I
it
see.
randomly in images.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So from there, Fallen Chungus started to become a bit of an idiot. He started getting targeted by like people like Sojak Party, like massive groups of people who I guess didn't like him. There were some chaser allegations of him like chasing someone like who was trans before he blew
No.
up, and that got in some drama, and that kind of attracted the attention of Sojak Party, and they started fucking with him. Well, obviously, Sojak Party people are a bit of a handful to deal with. I mean, recently I actually heard they actually hacked 4chan. Like, I think a couple of...
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah.
It was literally yesterday. I was on my phone, doom scrolling on Twitter in my bed, and I saw it.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But they're like a whole
trying to
organized
watch-
group. But, like, you can handle them if you just kind of, like... Again, it's like, as is with all internet trolls, just don't feed them and you'll be fine. But Fallen Chungus, obviously, like, didn't have the ability to do that. And he would continue
Yeah.
this to the point of, like, getting in arguments with, like, small Twitter accounts and then, like, threatening his life. And he had a kind of a habit of doing this.
If you also don't want to get, and this is coming from me who trolls a lot, so it's probably nothing to say, but like, if you also just don't want to get like trolled to that extent, or like have those people come after you at the first place, it's like, don't really put like sensitive things that will get you angry on the internet, because that's where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah.
Because, like, Fallen Chungus was getting angry because he started talking about things. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely.
And it was very
then
clear that
people
the
calling
chaser
him, like, a
allegations got
loser.
to him. Yeah, it was very clear that the chaser
Yeah.
allegations got to him and all that stuff, which is why people started targeting him. But again, it's like, that also ties into the thing of, like, if he wasn't giving them reactions and constantly being like, wow, fuck these people and whatever, they wouldn't continue doing it, because the idea of trolling is literally, like, most simple, get the biggest reaction you can as possible out of them.
Oh, no, for sure, yeah.
So, yeah. And from there, I guess, his kind of career began to take a tumble. He was airing like his personal issues with his family, which eventually led to his homelessness, which he posted on Twitter about, and was kind of like
Fighting
depending
with
on
his
that.
aunt.
Yeah, fighting with his aunt, who like publicly replied to him saying that he was like a violent person to his family because of Twitter, because he was banned from Twitter by his family, because obviously like he was like saying I'm going to kill myself. He would often go to the psych ward and announce it on Twitter, and prior to even his fame, like years before. So it was kind of interesting to like see
Was it
just
that
like
long that he was doing that?
well, the
I thought it was
earliest
just,
one
like,
that I could
Twitter
find,
that was making him
the
like that.
earliest one that I could find was like 2022 on Twitter. In fairness, though, he had kind of a fucked childhood. I don't know the details of everything, but I know that like I think I showed this in the video, but like his mom's bipolar. His dad was like arrested for like stabbing someone. I think stabbing his grandparents. They weren't killed, but it was like they were injured. I think it was like over like his
What's it,
medication. I'm not
like,
sure.
attempted murder or something, probably.
Aggravated assault. He got like a few months, and he was like pretty much kind of thrown to the side and was like just given an iPad, kind of like an iPad kid. And his like early life was on Amino. That's what he told me. His early life was like Amino groups and looking at like early shit. So
Well, that's the shit that obviously my life wasn't like that, but like I was on like Five Nights at Freddy's Amino,
yeah,
or like Minecraft Amino, because it was just a big app and stuff. And that Amino is a rabbit hole. That fucking whatever it is sucks.
yeah, absolutely.
Amino
It was a
filled with fucking pedos.
It was a horrific place where like having a app targeted to like these young kids who were like more towards art and stuff.
With a lot of NSFW,
it was never gonna go
like,
well.
roleplay tags.
Yeah, absolutely, it was never gonna go well. It's kind of an untapped
that's
like
a topic in its
thing.
own right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We
So
should
it's kind of like
definitely do that.
it's kind of like an untapped like thing where it's like people don't really discuss it that much, at least from what I've seen. It was kind of
was
always
kinda
taken like in stride. I think there were ads for it as well. Like people do like YouTubers would do
I
like
got
sponsor ads for it.
Well, because I would just look up, because as a kid, you just do this on the App Store. What I did, I just look up the things I like to see if there was a game I could play or like an app about it. Like Lego Minecraft or something, it'd be like a Minecraft knockoff. But that's how I started using aminos from that. And that fucking, that is a good fucking topic, actually. Writing that one down.
Next time.
We talk about child
Okay.
What was it? Child sexual abuse on Amino.
CSA on Amino. Yeah, that's what we talk about. Basically, though, picking up from the whole story, Fallen Chungus became kind of a spurg on Twitter. He was constantly fighting with people, constantly started, like, horny posting his, like, things about fat people, which was a little interesting considering, like, he put a poll out, like, a week earlier, and, like, 41% of his audience were, like, under the age of 18, which is a little sus.
That's bad, dude. That's bad.
even just like on being on Twitter and posting NSFW content as a previously like comic person feels weird to me because like I think Twitter is obviously always going to be full of like younger people. I mean, I started like I was on Twitter since I was 12. That's probably not a good thing.
I was on it as a little bambino.
Yeah, that was like the first social media to go to. Yeah, that's the first social media to go to after YouTube. I think
that's how I think we met on Twitter. From like the commentary community in like 2020.
Yeah, well, that's his own kind of thing, but yeah, I mean, Twitter was the way that you kind of connect with people, and YouTubers, that's the main way that you get advice to, and it kind of is to an extent, although I'm pretty sure, like, now you can become successful on YouTube without ever having to, like, connect with any YouTubers on Twitter. You can just kind of show up and do videos, and if you game the algorithm, it's different to what it was before.
There's a few people that do that.
Yeah, well, it's different to what
I don't think Tom promotes it anymore either.
Yeah, Tom doesn't do it anymore, but like I see people like, I don't know, Sunny V2 never was like a Twitter guy. That Pexto guy was new. He was never like really around as well. He's never, like, he just kind of come out, and that's my main example. He came out of nowhere and just like started getting like a ton of views. Pexto. He does like basic Sunny V2 videos on like YouTubers who have risen and fallen, bad YouTubers versus
like
good
Slop
YouTubers.
10,
kind of, yeah. And in that vein, it's like, I don't know, I've always viewed the slop tent as like, creatively I don't like it, but I think like, the issue is that YouTube is... Yeah, bag to bag. The issue is that YouTube is like, not a traditional job, or like online careers themselves are not a traditional job. You will have a rise and fall, and your attention will be very quick. At most, I think both of us will probably not be around on this platform for like, more than 5 years. I don't know, I don't want to put an end date on it specifically, but like...
you're wrong. I'm gonna be famous.
You're gonna be famous. You're gonna be here on YouTube for ages.
I think maybe I'll be like an underground like king. But like
hell yeah.
I think like YouTube or like like social media management or editing, because editing's become like more of a socially accessible thing. Everyone does it now.
Yeah.
Is like, we're going on a tangent, but fuck it. I think there's like a new sort of trade. But like catered to the internet, and that's being someone who can use the algorithm. And I'm not talking about like AI. I'm talking about like making the most engaging kids fucking Pomni Gate,
Sprunky. What is it called? Sprunky. I think it's called Sprunky. Sprunky.
The little
fucking
shitty like kids music app thing.
Yeah, like jingling keys in front of you. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of like, feel like the algorithm's like it's like specifically towards that. Although there's a new change now on YouTube recently where like ads won't get shown if it's like in an interrupted position. So if it like fades out and fades in, that's a better position ads get shown. But if it's not, then it's less likely to be shown. Which I imagine is a measure to combat that like constantly jingling keys fucking idea of editing and stuff. We're really going off on a tangent about like editing, to be fair.
No,
but, like,
fuck it.
Yeah.
We're the editor bros anyway. That's what we should have called the podcast. But I think you were saying about like we won't be here in like 5 years times, maybe. I think we'll last a bit longer than that. But like
I don't know. Maybe me.
They're a very you. I think.
I guess I'm saying maybe me. I'm gonna quit earlier because I've been around online making videos since like 2017. I was like 12 back then. The way I see YouTube now is that, like, YouTube is not like a long-term thing where you can have like an office job even. You can't even treat it like an office job. It's kind of like you get in, you have your minutes of fame, and then you get out. Even PewDiePie, who was like one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, has quit now. And that's like after, like, what, 10 years of making videos? Or at least it's been 10 years. 10 years since he's been at his prime. I wouldn't say 10 years now, but like when he quit. He is, I think you can call him like Mr. Beast, like an actual like global celebrity. Yeah, but you don't see him do much anymore.
Just do what he wants.
Yeah,
and he was doing kind of what he wanted, even when he was making the videos.
Nah, but like the passion has gone for him. I think the passion has gone for him a lot. It's like why he doesn't do videos every single day.
Japan.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, with YouTube, it's like or at least with online careers, it's kind of like go in, make your money for like
Short
5 to 10
term.
years, and then get out, and you move on to another stage of your life. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
And I wish it
I think
wasn't.
there's
I
very
would.
few people who will actually sustain on YouTube without the slop.
Yeah, well, it's a thing that like
on a main at least.
I think people aren't realistic about their expectations, and this kind of comes in with Fallen Chungus, but like it kind of came to me with people like Bo Blacks, who, if you don't know, former friend of Toastified. He's a Twitter versus he's the channel that does all
He was
Twitter
your
versus
boyfriend,
stuff. Yeah, he was my boy. No, I'm kidding. He was the guy who did all the Twitter versus stuff, and he recently kind of like melted down. He completely just imploded over a bunch of stuff. And like one of the things that stood out to me was like his obsession with an internet legacy. And it's like, dude, you have 300k subscribers and just retweet. And it's like, just put the tweets in the bag. You don't have to be like a personality. He's very clearly trying to be his own personality and had some sort of delusion with that, which is why he was like selling plushies himself. And it's like, there are very few people who will ever be able to pull that off just because of like who they are and what they've done leading up to it and their position.
You also need to have done it for so long and have such a... I guess Pyro is a big example of someone who... He does slop on the side, but his main channels are actually videos. Like actual YouTube videos, if you know what I mean. So like he's a person who does get the internet legacy, because he's not only has he been around for so long and been in so many genres of commentary and MLG and video essays and stuff, but he's so he's one of the biggest YouTubers.
Well, if
notable YouTubers,
if we're talking about internet legacy, positive or negative, the one that comes to mind to me is usually Keemstar. You got to think that guy's been around for fucking since like 2008. He's been around through different iterations.
Just in TV days, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, you'll obviously always think of him negatively. I think 99% of people who've heard of him will think of him negatively, but he's still around and still kicking.
Recently.
I did see his dog die. That was fucking sad. I can't even lie. There was, I mean, I saw that there was some jokes about it, and they kind of got to me. Like,
just hit a dog.
Not even that one. I think I was listening to like Nick's stream, Nick Diorio, and there was someone extra Emily who was like this Twitch streamer who like fucking terrible at driving, and someone just immediately put like extra Emily caught fleeing from the scene in a Tesla, and that killed me. That's a brutal clip though. Just like his voice breaking.
I do feel bad for Kim in that for some. Like...
If you've seen the clip where his voice breaks, you're like, oh fucking Christ.
I made a joke to my friend saying you can tell he's sad because his hat looks like it's balding as well.
Oh my god. Oh god, that's rough. But yeah, what I was saying was like Keemstar is definitely like obviously he's going to be like remembered negatively, but people will always remember him. And he's still around in some format. Whether that be
he's always around. People
Snapchat or Lolcow. Yeah, even Lolcow Live. Like if people don't, it's going to be hard to see like what happens when he quits, because love him or hate him, the internet's not going to be the same without him. That's me really weird.
He was the harbinger of a lot of drama.
Absolutely.
He was,
he's like
front of
I love the meme that he's like the Skyrim NPC you see in like every single drama that just pops up out of nowhere. Like you're watching a video about like wings. Yeah. You're watching a video about wings and suddenly like Keemstar debated him on it. It's like, what the hell? Where did this come from?
Yeah, there was I was unironically watching like unironically, hell I would. I was watching a Wings documentary. I forgot who it was by. It was really good though. Maybe June the King. And Keem came up out of nowhere. Maybe, yeah. And Keem came up out of nowhere, and this was before Lolcow Live and all that. And I was like, what the hell? He staged one of the first internet like commentary debates.
Yeah, well,
like,
wasn't
he made that?
Wasn't he a part of that whole thing with Pro Syndicate and Wings?
Yeah.
He was a part of that whole thing. So
he was a big guy in that whole situation.
I guess tying it back to Fallen Chungus in a similar way, like Fallen Chungus is a guy who kind of I feel has like some sort of idea where like he clearly wants to be like he clearly has a lot of things to hold with his internet legacy and reputation, to the point that like I guess his fight for it was like completely just like draining. Where he flipped back and forth, I feel like, between like loving oh, I'm Fallen Chungus, so the people are gonna know me and all this shit. Although not to the extent I'm saying, but I think there was certainly some underlying thing of like, oh, this is cool that I'm a massive Twitter account and people know of me. But then he'd go from like, oh, I hate the account and stuff. And this can be told like when he sold the account, because he initially sold it and then he was like, oh fuck, I changed your heart, and he refunded part of the money, and the guy just like locked off all his things, took his account, and has become like revived the account's popularity.
Chungus.
Yeah, Liquid Chungus. So now Fallen Chungus has kind of like fell into the deep dark pit of lolcowdom, where he's just constantly being fucked with because he like keeps putting out personal information about himself.
Can I get 5 big braps?
Yeah, the big stream. Well, then the stream, the reveal that he has a fart fetish, which led
The
to
reveal.
the
Everyone knew
streams.
that, dude.
I mean, it was leading up to it, and it's like it wasn't a surprise when it came out. But like just the way you released it was like, guys, we need to talk about minors like fucking like doing NSFW. It's bad.
We need to talk about
we need to talk about minors. And the first thing is like, by the way, guys, I have a fart fetish. And he was like, oh,
I love it when a woman poo-poo.
So I guess like, and again, it's like he's in a totally like crazy cycle of completely just going back and forth on doing this stuff. Now, following the video, he actually responded briefly on Twitter. I think a few people were making fun of it, being like, well, where's the title, like, how to destroy a Twitter career? Isn't Twitter career a bit like exaggerative?
I saw one.
Yeah, and I was
saw
like,
one that was literally just like, I'm not watching a 50-minute video on Fallen Chungus.
yeah, and I think I mean that's fair. But I kind of like, obviously it's like, I think a part of it is like, obviously, it gets you to comment. It gets you to say, wow, I can't believe this. I can't believe you're saying this is a Twitter career. I can't believe it's a 50-minute video on Fallen Chungus. You've commented. Thank you for the comment, mate. Goodbye.
You played the game.
Dude, this is
You
where
got
it
played
this
by
is where
the
it's
master
at.
fucking
You
debater.
got fucking owned, dude. No. But obviously that was all going round. Some of Fallen Chungus' like fans, which I'm surprised he has any left, were trying to like
He's got
flag
some?
me down. Yeah, they were trying to flag me
Other
down
than
and
me?
sending reports. You are not his fan.
Oh,
he's got you blocked because you sent him.
If Fallen Chunk... Yeah, because...
You sent him a
I
tweet.
did
You
that.
you kept tweeting him saying, "Can I get 5 big braps?" That's what happened.
I did it once.
Yeah. Well,
I
once.
did it once, so can I get 5 big braps? Once is more than enough.
Yeah. But I mean, that's like. I mean, the thing is, I would have like be interested if he would have responded further, but I don't think he has. He has me added on Discord, so we can DM me. But I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to be.
I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't though.
Yeah. There's a part of me that does feel like he could be changing his ways, but that always come from him being on Twitter. Like, I think it's only a matter of time before he does something embarrassing again, and then people just like cash in again and be like, well, here it is. Even like before my video, he was taking commissions via Robux. He was like, Robux is accepted if you want to commission me. It's like,
Jesus
this is like, you're in a sorry state
Was
right
he
now.
getting commissioned by like a 9-year-old?
I imagine, I don't know, but I guess he just like wanted like money any way possible.
Is that the new "I'll pay you an exposure"?
Well, no, because it's an actual currency. To be fair, like you can actually like use stuff with the
Robux?
Robux. He has like 39k Robux on his account.
Dude, he can buy one fucking LeBron James head with that. Or whatever you can get on
Dude,
Robux.
Did you see the video? He was flexing it on Twitter, being like, "I'm not a fucking broke boy, guys." And it's like a 36k on
just
Robux.
so you guys know.
Just so you guys know.
I have all the Arsenal packs, so...
Oh, good. But I guess, so Fallen Chungus got me thinking about Twitter accounts overall. Obviously, I've covered some Twitter accounts briefly before. And it got me thinking because Twitter is such a different place to YouTube, and it has been for ages, even though it's obviously, like, tied very similar. Because Twitter has, like, gimmick accounts and all this shit. Obviously, the way you view content is, like, pretty different to YouTube. And, like... the type of content, the type of people on there, and how people talk to each other, and also just the idea that, like, I think the platform is built a lot on reputation building behavior, where it's like you need to kind of like have a name and be known and not fuck anything up, and like say something that people always align with, or whatever you want, whatever audience you want to align with. Because obviously, if I make like a bad video, and I have made bad videos before, if I make a bad video, people will obviously give me shit for that. But like after you can move on from a couple of videos if you just kind of like move on from that shit. Twitter is different. If you fuck up on Twitter, like people will remember that stuff more than they do on YouTube. So and it certainly affects your reputation and how
like
and your reach.
It's like the meme where it's like the tweet has left the target audience.
Yeah, it's like a totally random like
kinda like
algorithm. It's like rather than like YouTube where you can feel like you're kind of appealing to an audience, a specific one that watches your stuff, Twitter will just like throw it out to everyone. And especially considering like the I guess it's not even recent, but like Elon Musk buying Twitter and the whole thing become like a hellhole for like bots and verification and monetization even. It's like wow. It's like this has gotten like genuinely gotten worse. But it obviously got me thinking about like no other notable Twitter gimmick accounts, because there's been like way more that have gotten some sort of fame and then have like obviously fallen, and just some of them are funny. So I decided I'd
Just like the Chungus, as
just.
some would say.
I think the Chungus is the most notable one ever. But like I don't know. I think
You think? What about MCYT?
yeah,
That was
that's
a big
like
thing.
that's like a. I don't know if that's too big. If you're talking about average, he was a guy. I don't know. I can't talk too much about Average. Actually, I actually can't talk too much about him because I feel like I tried to look into him, and apparently like there's some like legal shit going on. So I was like, I'm not gonna mention that publicly. Never mind. I can't talk about that by my own will.
They found the Epstein logs.
Well, but I guess if you want a brief introduction, Average MCYT was like a guy who was like back when all the like the Dream stands and the Dream SMP stuff, and people were loving those YouTubers. A lot of those people would go on to like become like a sort of cult, and they would do like some pretty absurd shit to people who hated Dream and all this trend. And Average MCYT was like first the documenter, and then the target of a lot of these attacks. They draw like fucking gory images of him like fucking his cat. And shit like that, completely in deranged images, and I think over time that began to like affect the guy himself, because a lot of his account was like looking through tons of pages on Twitter and seeing all this shit and screenshotting and be like, wow guys, look at this Average MCYT user. So the account then started becoming like a completely deranged psychopath who was into literally every single degenerate fetish known to man and was like a total piece of shit. So much so that I imagine he's now getting legal action. So, yeah.
Oh, is he like groomed into it, or just like?
I don't know if he was groomed into it, but I think he ended up like that, and I don't think the Twitter thing helped. I think that was a cause of it, not the main cause, but I think it was a cause of. I think when you consume that content for so long and you're like so anti against it, and you literally search for it all the time, I think eventually, and especially considering he's not that old, especially I think it's going to affect you a lot. And it ended up hurting other people as well. It's kind of fucked, but I mean, it's not. I don't want to be like give him an excuse, but like the guy is like a completely mentally ill person. But I mean, yeah. I mean, there's also I guess before there's like a bunch of like these Twitter people. There was like you know what Reply Seeker was?
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like before I think like most of these people were like Twitter fame people, he was like the original Twitter celebrity that I knew, or like e-celebrity, I guess you could say. So he was like a guy who was just mostly, his gimmick was like, oh, I'm just gonna go find people's replies and be like, lol, this is funny or whatever, or like, lol, this is a bad reply. It's a really boring gimmick, but it ended up getting like pretty popular, and he started getting like fan art and shit, and he had like a fairly big account. And then obviously, as all tales go, he got exposed for grooming someone, so there was that.
Oh no.
Which is obviously like I feel like always
My
gonna happen
favorite
on every.
Twitter account got exposed.
Yeah, it's over. It was kind of a big deal. His like name was trending and shit. But basically, I think the thing was like, I think he was like, I thought this 12-year-old girl was like 15, 16. If I remember correctly, I don't have the exact memory on mine, but like,
Did you put it in your video?
I made a video about it, yeah, but it's a while ago.
Yeah.
But like he basically just went on and was like, well, yeah, I was taking this girl and she was like 13, but like she said like she was 16 and stuff, and we were trying to. I think he has seen like pictures of her as well, and they were like doing stuff and they were being romantic. I don't know I think they were sexual at some point, but I'm not sure. And he basically got like kind of I mean, yeah, obviously ousted for that shit because he's a fucking degenerate for that. But it was weird, like, his fame and stuff was so weird because he was, like, it was literally, like, the most boring idea just to be, like, looking at replies and be like, wow, this reply sucks or whatever. It's only for only for recognition, I think, so people could be like, oh, that's a reply seeker. And it was, like, it was an effective way to build something. But, like,
It was like a specific thing that I don't think, like everyone's like quote tweeted a reply every now and then, said this retard, or put like a reaction gif, but like an account dedicated to it where you don't have to look for like replies on Twitter and you can just go to one account with like a shitty reply just to laugh at. It's kind of like It's boring, but it's kind of genius. For, like, a
Yeah,
Twitter
and
account to
it kind of did give him some sort of a personality. It's
Yeah.
it feels like an unusual account for like a Twitter account, especially like a popular one, because most of them are just like
Yeah.
just tweet whatever you think, like just like shitter thoughts and like, oh lol. They're literally the first thought that comes to your mind. So for him to be like looking over Twitter things specifically, I don't know. It feels like it doesn't feel normal to me to like look at.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But there
no,
was
for sure, yeah.
I think that there's another one that a lot of people. Santa Decides, that's the one. Well, that's more of a traditional gimmick account, but people
That was
know
a
that
guy
one
who
and
was, like,
hate
just
that
a
one.
fucking massive loser, yeah.
Yeah,
Because the reason why is because he would put, like, really... Like, any current drama or any current celebrity, he would just say, this guy is bad, this guy is this, without really... You know, as a gimmick account, if you were to do that, people would just be like, okay, well, you're just trend hopping because other people don't like the guy. And while most, like, other, like, Twitter accounts would be like, okay, and just, like, tweet about it on a private or something, he was, like, doing it publicly, being like, I don't give a fuck about your political opinions, I don't give a fuck about that. And I remember there was that one meme where someone edited, like, Jeffrey Epstein is on the good list, and he crashed out about that.
Yeah, he just completely molded and blocked a bunch of fucking people.
I think he still has me blocked to this day.
Well, the account's changed now because I think it got sold to like a right winger. And he started like being like, "Guys, Trump is on the nice list or whatever," and it was like, dude, it's just like
intentionally
same.
rage
It's like
bait.
same shit, different season. So it's like there's no point. It was not even rage bait, just like right wing post.
Walking Dead season 1 to season 2.
Yeah, literally. The entire cast changes, you know. But like, you know. Yeah, but like Santa Decides was just like another one of those accounts, which is like a lazy kind of gimmick. Well, gimmicks in themselves. I think a lot of them on Twitter are fairly lazy. You had all these like posting L's
it's
accounts.
the easiest thing in the world to screenshot
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, you could just take a
put it on
screenshot and be
Twitter
like,
account.
just make fun of someone. There's like that delusional takes ones. There's a bunch of these. And the only thing that's notable to me is like when they start going like crazy.
The
Especially
accounts that are botted ones, I think, is the account that everyone does. I think the only good one of those accounts that actively tweets is like the iFunny account, or like the memes that AI, or what is it, pictures AI will never recreate because they talk, or like Bleffin or something. Because you could talk endlessly about like accounts that like just ride the train of like hating a specific person, and because they get stuck in the corner, they just keep with it. Like, what's that guy's name? Midas.
yeah.
Still talks about Call Me Carson being a predator to this day and stuff like that. It's like,
Let it go, you know.
yeah.
Well, I don't
You
know.
watch, little bro. You got a
That-
Pokemon profile picture.
Those like specific people don't really like resonate with me as much because they are just kind of like it's kind of
no,
just
for
like
sure.
people with names and they have their own personalities and it's like, well, cool. These are just like, I mean, I'm not gonna talk. I would never make a video on like Midas, like a person.
No,
like,
I get what you're saying about like, it's an account that's not made. It's quite literally not made for them to actually tweet on. It's made for them to post other people's tweets or other
Kind of,
fandom
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
well, there's that,
there's
and
a
then there's
clear
all like the
separation.
people like that Kira guy. What's his name? Kira won't miss. Yeah, those people where it's
Yeah,
where it's like again,
Just,
it's
like,
just
getting
like posting
specific quotes.
posting
Imagine if
memes and
men-
shit. Imagine if men had to breastfeed using
Imagine
their
if
what?
Santa, imagine if Santa put coal in the stocking, kind of shit.
No, that's not my kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really. I think when you specifically want to be a Twitter personality, I think I'm out. And I think
Yeah.
the fact that it gets people that
It's
far.
cringer than being a fucking commentary YouTuber.
Wasn't there a Twitter guy a guy who was like known for being on Twitter when he boxed? I was on like a Misfits card.
Oh,
I need to
Yeah.
I need to look this up. That is
Corn.
yeah, it was Korn, that guy. So again,
List. And that guy was like so unfunny.
yeah, but all he did was just like post memes and just jokes and stuff, and he got like a fucking
He
Misfits
would just
boxing
reply
card.
to people.
Yeah.
And he would get mad at like bigger accounts just stealing his replies. He'd be like, N-word, you gotta pay me for this shit to get on blast. It's like, who gives a fuck, dude? Like, he had a Carty profile picture and everything. It's so cringe.
He got on a boxing card. I don't know if that says. I don't know how much that says about like his popularity or like Misfits
And lost in
desperation.
one round, by the way.
It I do remember he lost in one round.
Got
Yeah.
fucking flattened. Dude, the guy was a string bean going up against like an actual MMA fighter.
Yeah, that's not my kind of
It's like
thing.
that image of that. It's like that image of the black dude getting knocked out and his face is all like he's like got his face scrunched up. There was like corn after it.
Face scrunched up.
Not like gore. It was like a meme where it's like, bro got knocked out so bad and he's like knocked out and then he lifts his head up and his double chin's showing and his lips are like
I've never seen that
puckered
before.
outwards. That's cool. If you never, this is my funniest.
I've never
meme
seen
of
that
all time.
before. I've never. But yeah, no, Twitter personalities are interesting, but they're not my kind of thing. I like when like these like normal boring Els accounts or these like traditional gimmick accounts, like the posting Els accounts, they go like completely crazy. There was this one that was like, it was like e-girls posting Els. And I think like that one had a real
that was
roller
a big
coaster.
trend, right?
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Like, X posting X, like men posting W. There was that the left can't meme and the right can't meme, and it was probably owned by the same account, just fighting with each other.
Could
and
you
then other
imagine?
people would unironically,
Could you
like,
imagine?
I think it was owned by the same person. Or, like,
No,
two
it
people
wasn't.
knew each other.
But there was an account that like owned like a bunch of Twitter accounts and was like constantly getting a bunch of interaction. It was a bunch of big Twitter accounts. I don't remember his name, but there was like a big scandal where like he was owning all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like completely exposed and like deleted everything.
Was like all like the OnlyFans women, which is where the e-girls posting else thing came from, I think, where it was like the OnlyFans women replying or something, wasn't it? Or like e-girls like vying for attention.
Well, no, this is like
with Belle Delphine.
e-girls posting their L's was like 2021 was when that account started. And of course, I think it posted the same thing of like it's more of like a right wing thing where it's like being like an anti SJW thing where it's like, oh, look at these people on e-girls online posting their L's. All these posting their L's accounts have obviously got some sort of bias. But this one is
they wouldn't be doing the L's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. This one's noble to me though because it's got like a bunch of like admin history. Where I think like the first time like one of the co-founders of the account was like in trouble with the police because of the tweets he made on his own account. Jeez. So like one of the admins was literally in trouble with the police, and then the other one was like when these accounts, they would like set up like entire mod teams where it was like, okay, we're gonna have like multiple posters for this thing, and they probably have that on these big accounts. They're just not open about it. But this one had like a new mod, and it was actually an e-girl who just completely the e-girl posting their L's accounts has gone e-girl running as a mod, and then the e-girl started posting pictures of herself and sending news to people via DMs. It's completely crazy because they like got like a known Twitter like clout leech who was like kind of a pedo as well. Who was like encouraging minors to follow her whilst like posting softcore porn. And again, it's like okay, dude. But like the absurdity of like having an account dedicated to like being against the whole like e-girls posting else things, and then like having an e-girl on that account is like completely absurd to me.
It's a gap in the logic.
Yeah, it's literally fucking hell. Remember those Els accounts used to like
fucking sucks.
Those Els
I think
accounts.
We can all just agree with that.
Those are like like posting Els account used to have like a lot of like trends. Do you remember that commentary Els one that was in the community?
Yeah, I made that.
That was not you.
No,
I don't believe you.
That was Jack Johnson.
There's no way that's Jack Johnson. But fuck off.
I think it was no. Jack Johnson did commentary W's because I remember one time. Do you remember? You know, haha, yeah. He once got like, I think like got to like 600 subs, and I remember replying to him with that, being a nice friend, and he personally DMing me saying, "Don't ever speak to haha, yeah, he's a bad guy," and I remember saying he's my friend, and the account blocked me.
Dude, Jack Johnson is so funny. I don't know how that guy's gotten to where he is now. He's like he's like a troll editor, isn't he? Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, bad one.
Do you remember the Commentary Els though? Commentary Els was like an account that was like in the community, and it got into like fights with people.
Owned it.
I don't know who. Do you know who owned it? Because I don't.
It sounds like something Pie Girl would do.
No, because it was going at Pie Girl. It was all this account that was like, I hate commentary, and here's the three horsemen of the commentary cry. Going at like Pie Girl and Harley TBS and Cordwit. I think this is just a random person.
They probably had like an actual account that we probably interacted with, but I don't know if they were like notable in small, like little kiddie commentary.
Nah, they were. I remember them. This person had like a complete
No,
mental
like, by
breakdown.
like, I mean that actual account.
Yeah,
They
but
actually were.
I don't know.
Because I cannot think for the life of me who.
I think it's just a random viewer, but they just start like going like completely mental at like like other small commentators and just posting tweets, be like "fuck you all, I hate you all," and then other people were like posting, and it's
obviously
like
commentary aids isn't a spurg, but it's like a faceless guy who just like does it for the love of the game because that's just who he is.
Yeah, except commentary owls was purely motivated by hate, which. You know,
I don't know why you hated Cordwit so much.
That's a fair point. Cordwit's like the nicest guy in the community, and he's just like, I fucking hate this guy.
Dude. I used to watch him every week.
Well, he wouldn't upload every week.
Uploaded.
Yeah, come on.
I used to just watch the same videos every week.
Jesus, Groundhog Day.
Fucking Cordwit stan.
Jeez. But yeah, commentary L's was like one of these accounts just kept fucking going back and forth, round and round. Just completely being like mentally insane on Twitter.
I really do wonder who it was. It wasn't like Grayson.
No. We'll never know. I don't think we'll ever know.
Some shitter channel.
Just complete fucking loser. I'm gonna say it's Noxlish. I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna accuse it of being Noxlish.
Mr. Toxic.
Could you imagine?
I would fucking kill myself.
There was another one that was associated to commentary, not associated, but like more towards like the old like alt-right space. I think it was called like Vosh Els. I don't know what happened with that guy though. I'm pretty sure the guy who ran it was like into incest, or he like, committed incest at one point in his career. I mean,
what?
I think so. I'm not too sure. I gotta remember. I can't remember the lore on this guy, but I think he was. I'm not sure if he's the same guy who made the. He made the. This is not going into like alt-right space, so I'm like trying to remember the lore. But there was a guy, and I think he was the same person who like ran the Vosh Els accounts, and he was he also like was modding like a game modding like Super Mario 64, but it was about like Ethan Ralph. Got like Super Gun 64.
That's literally the fucking Keemstar Area 51 game equivalent.
Keemstar Area 51 game? I don't remember that.
You don't remember when Keemstar made he either made or like he was a part of like a game where it's like raiding Area 51.
Did he? I only remember.
Yeah, it was insanely fucking gay.
I only remember when he made Castle Miner Z. Well, he didn't even make that. Castle Miner Z was awesome.
He made Castle Miner Z was a banger, but he made something called like Mine Shaft instead of Minecraft. On the Xbox
just put it
360.
for free. I swear it was Castle Miner Z, was it not?
No, Castle Miner Z was the actual Xbox, and it was a banger, by the way. Banger fucking game. That was just like Xbox's, like, we don't have Minecraft yet, so we're just gonna fucking make a shitty one. Because you could have your Xbox avatar. Like, do you remember the Xbox 360 characters you could have?
Yeah.
And you could have that as the main character, so it was Xbox official, I think.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Absolute goat of a game.
I'm trying to find it. I don't think this guy was like an incest guy. I think confusing them because they were both like mods of flamenco. But one of them was just like a
that makes sense.
One of them just like a total transphobe, and the other one was like into incest or like did incest. And that was the guy who made the Super Mario fucking Ethan Ralph thing.
Like,
we must sound crazy to people who have no idea who any of these people are. Sorry, guys.
Like, just so you all know, like, none of what we're saying actually happened. This is in our heads.
You fucking dickhead. No, this did happen. This did happen. No, this did happen. This did happen.
You need to wake up.
No, this did happen. You know what the craziest one of these? Sorry.
Why? What's up?
You know what the craziest one of these accounts was?
What?
I remember covering this one. This one was the reason I made my entire video in the first place. There's an account called like The Worst Memes, which was like on like these anime accounts.
You know what's crazy actually that we're bringing that up? That was the first thumbnail I did for you.
It actually was. Holy shit! It was actually that. I didn't.
I remember
realize.
we made 3 that night, and that was one of them.
I completely forgot about that. Jesus. But yeah, The Worst Memes was that one was more funny. But I remember that one because because of a fair few reasons. Just the idea that it was like another one of these gimmick accounts, but it was like posting memes against anime fans, which is interesting because you look on Twitter and there's a lot of these. You see a lot of presence of the like lolicon people, like these Rev Says Desu people who are like all these notable people. You've had quite the history with them, haven't you?
Fucking get me started.
You guys are best
on those
friends.
Fucking pedophile freaks. These fucking.
You've had a lot of fun with them.
Child sexual abuse anime watching motherfuckers. I don't want to fucking hear about lolicons anymore. No, I've had a fair few fucking. There's a bunch of fucking schizophrenics to this day that still like stalk me about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Mad.
It's kind of freaking insane. What were you saying?
Kind of crazy. No, I was saying like so the worst memes account was like one of these accounts that like actually became like pretty popular, and it was just like off like posting cringy anime memes and people like saying weird shit and being like pro lolicon and stuff, and that's how it kind of made its name off the pro lolicon stuff. But then it slowly developed into like harmless cringe anime memes, which I'm sure was fine. But then the entire account like imploded because if I remember this correctly, they had a new mod who was like a 15-year-old furry called Jade.
Oh my God.
Now, let me see if I can remember this correctly. Now, the
Of course
entire
they have
thing.
a name like that. By the way, like Jade.
What's wrong with Jade?
Well, because it's what every like furry like Jade or like Blue Fall for fucking.
Every furry's called Blue Fall.
Hypnotist Sapphire.
Okay, dude. You just
You
just named like the three worst, like not even actually worst furries. Blue Fall I don't think is the worst, but you named like one of the worst furries like in that
He's
list.
A little poo-poo diaper man.
You might as well just gone like, I can't believe all these furries like fucking Carol the Wolf
Fucking
and
Carol
Snake
the Wolf.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like talking about like
But am
Germans.
I wrong?
Talking about Germans, and you bring up like the two worst people in like fucking Germany's history. Himmler and Hitler and Goering and all those people. You know, I just hate Germans. And it's like, dude,
the fact that he had
Hitler was Austrian.
Hitler side tangent, as I love doing. It's insane that he had an unironic mini-me called Himmler. He had that shit's Austin Powers a fucking history right there.
I'm gonna need you to do that in
History
editing.
memes.
I'm gonna need you to do like a Hitler side tangent title card. Jew.
Jew alert.
Okay, dude. What the fuck? Jesus.
No, I'm saying it for any, people who might be affected by the tragedy that was the Holocaust. Click off now, because I'm going on a Hitler side tangent.
A warning: if you really don't like Hitler, this is not the podcast for you.
If you do not fuck with what happened during 1939 to 1945, then please kick off. Is it 1939, 1935?
I don't know when they got. That's probably when they got in power. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I brushed on my history, so you're gonna have to give me a bit. Even though
World War II knowledge.
Even though I have a shit ton of books. Oh, hang on. If you're talking about when World War II started, it was 1939. So, yeah.
Yes, I was. Facts.
I was right. Okay. Anyway, back to Twitter memes. But like,
yes.
Back to
Stop
Twitter memes from
rambling,
Hitler.
man.
What do you mean? You went on the Hitler side tangent. What the fuck?
I did not.
You went on the Hitler side tangent.
I only talk facts.
You. Okay,
so
dude.
Calm it down.
Okay, but anyway, the worst memes. The people on the account. There was a bunch of people on the account. A bunch of mods. They hired a 15-year-old Twitter furry called Jade, and a lot of people picked up very quickly that Jade had a bit of a history, because of like some weird shit. Where I'm pretty sure Jade went on an account. Went on their account and was like, and admitted that like they used to like make fart porn for editors and put it on and to like bait them.
For editors or redditors?
Redditors.
I thought you said for editors.
For editors, just distributed to the Tro News team or whatever the fuck it is. Hey guys, look at this. Jack Johnson.
Whoa, hold up. Johnson, take a look at that one.
Jack Johnson. It looks big. It looks massive.
It looks.
But yeah,
Can I get 5 big
one
wraps?
of the I think they said like one of the videos was called Aftermath at Wendy's, which is like the fucking stupidest name I've ever heard. Now, I don't even know the idea of like. Well, it's like I guess it's the idea of like. From what I understand, the idea was like to catch pedos in the act or whatever. But it's a really stupid move to like making porn, like catch pedos by making porn of yourself as a minor, and sending that up with like titles and stuff. And I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's literally pedo bait.
It is literally. And in fairness, I talked to the person actually contacted me after my video and was like, I didn't actually make the videos. It was like a thing I just kind of I think I was or like it wasn't like I think the exact story is like it wasn't the videos weren't actually made, but it was like I'm not sure about the details though. I'm kind of like going off the top of my head, but I know the videos weren't actually made. But I'm pretty sure just like the I guess like they thought like I think it was just kind of it might have just been I think they might have just said it was a joke. I don't know. The issue is like I don't remember.
A friendly fart prank.
It was just a goofy fart prank. That's what it was.
It's a friendly fart prank, dude. I don't understand the issue.
Yeah, but then I'm pretty sure this person went on and was like obviously after that all that surfaced, all the people started giving shit on the account. And it was like, and it completely imploded. The owner went mad and started sending people the N-word. Some people were just like tweeting on it and they got hacked. And then eventually got deactivated. It was an entire just fucking day of chaos. And it tried to come back a few times, but then people started hacking it again. And eventually it just got rid of it. I'm trying to get the truth on the Aftermath at Wendy's because I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if that's like exactly what happened. And I want to make sure I get it right because we're talking about it here and I kind of need to like make sure.
Yeah. You don't want to be a liar, do you?
Yeah, man. Basically, when the entire thing went down, I was around 14, 15, and tried to fake getting a bag by selling stuff when I really didn't at all. Long story short, I was a complete dumbass and I put it in the past and well, stopped being fucking stupid ever since that point. So it was like, I see. So the idea, so I remember this now. So they were saying publicly that like, oh, I was selling these like fart porn things because like I was getting the bag. I can't work any other way, and I was getting the bag. And, like, I was also baiting in pedos to try and, like, catch them and stuff and get in the bag. And it's like, well, that's probably not the best way to go about it. It's like Mama Max level of, like...
Bag.
This is like the Mama Max level of, like, I showed them my ass.
Yeah. Pretending to be a little girl.
I'm pretending to be a little girl. I sent him a picture of my ass.
I sent them my brapple.
But thankfully, I don't think those videos were actually real. Just the idea, though, that, this person, I don't think this person's like a bad person or anything. Just the idea that they were like, I need to fake thinking. Let me think of a name for this hypothetical fetish video that I made. Aftermath at Wendy's.
At Wendy's. Sounds like a fucking FNAF fan game, dude.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking. It's so funny. But again, it's like I feel kind of like bad because I was like, oh fuck, I feel bad for the fucking shit on like not being like not at least like, seeing if I could hit you up about this shit because I didn't know like that person was like still active until like they DM'd me on Twitter and I was like holy shit, but I wanted to be like fuck, and I felt extra bad because I didn't even correct. I was meant to correct it in the comments, but I didn't even do it until recently because I completely forgot.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm just completely bad.
Fucking psycho.
Yeah, I'm a freaking psycho. there was another account I covered in that video as well, which is kind of funny. Where it was like a something antis one, or like I think it was something phobic antis, where like similar to the L's accounts, there were people on Twitter that would have these kind of like antis accounts where it's like no, it wasn't antis, it was of the day. I think it was like something of the day. And they're like specific gimmick accounts just tweet to be like, oh, today is like this is this character's person specifically posted on like a specific character or a specific like gender. So this person would do like
birthday. Yeah,
so this person would do like, was it like something like transphobic antis of the day, which is like, here's the anti of the day. This person sucks. I don't know if it's transphobic, but it might have been either some sort of sexuality or some sort of character. Anyway, basically, this account went viral because like. They went on one day and were like, cannibalism isn't that bad, you know? And it's like, what? First of all, like, whoa.
What?
Yeah, you're like, where the fuck did cannibalism come from? But this person was having like a full argument, and it turned into like, arguing on the ethics of cannibalism. Which I could probably pull up my video right now to see if there was like if there's like stuff from there.
Well, did they win?
I don't know. But they got like shamed. So probably not. I don't think they won.
No.
I don't think they won. I can try and find this shit. It was actually 2024. Was it this? It was actually. Dude, I can't believe this video was in 2024. Yeah, toothpaste antis. That was it. Toothpaste antis of the day, because the toothpaste flag is like a flag in the LGBT community.
Fuck, were you toothpaste sexual?
Well, it's like a debate on like what flag should be used for like a certain sexuality. Yeah, this person said. So someone asked them, do you for real support cannibalism with consent? Genuine question. Yes, I do. But no self-harm or intentional harm should be in place to obtain the meat. And it's like, well, guys.
What does that mean? How are you going to eat someone without harming them?
Well, it's like consented of like, hey, you can have my fucking body. I'll give you my body and stuff. Like you can eat my body. This reminds me of like there was like case in Germany back in like 2006.
The guy using the forum board to eat.
Yeah. It's called like Cannibal Cafe. And a guy called like Erwin Maiwis. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Some like name like that.
I know his first name was Erwin, but like he was like a cannibal, and he met up with someone, and then they like fucking, and he was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing the thing now, and he was like, all right, and he just fucking killed him.
Killed him and ate him.
Killed him and ate him, and chopped him up and cooked him, and then put like the rest of him in the freezer.
Good Sunday dinner.
Literally like a good Sunday dinner, yeah. And he got sent to jail for like a long time. He's not a vegetarian, by the way.
Fuck off.
No, he is genuinely. If I look his name up,
is he actually like
if
a
I
vegetarian?
If I look his name up, I will find that he's vegetarian. Armin Maiwis. Armin Maiwis? I think that's his name.
Oh yeah.
Let me look. I'll look this up on the spot and tell you he is vegetarian. Fuck. Let's see if I can find this. Armin Maiwis is a German former computer repair technician who received international attention for murdering and cannibalizing Bernd Brandes, whom he had found via the internet as a voluntary victim in March 2001. So they met online and were like, okay, we can eat each other.
Cannibal Cafe?
Yeah, Cannibal Cafe was a website, I think, that they met on.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, it was like a fetish that he had. Of like eating people,
it's
obviously.
Like a sexual thing?
I think, because he tried to eat his cock first. I know that.
And it was too stringy?
Yeah, and he tried to eat it, he was like, oh fuck, I can't do this. So he's like, alright, go sit in the bath and I'll kill you.
I know people call it, like, shows you meat, but it's not actually meat, it's fucking, what is it? It's like fat. It's not actual...
What, your cock?
Yeah, it's not actually edible. Can't eat a cock.
Well.
Except if my girlfriend does it.
Okay, cool.
I tried setting it up so hard.
That was such an awful joke. I might end the podcast right there.
No.
Yeah, look, while in prison, Maiwis has since become a vegetarian. I have it right here. Did he literally became a vegan? He was like, fuck this.
He gooned too hard to the sun.
He literally gooned too hard, yeah.
It's like that thing, do you know, it's like a fetish that's unattainable. Like an inflation, or like a vor fetish. So it's like, and like, this guy did it, and it kind of shows, like, once you do it once, you kind of just don't want to do it.
Unless you become, like, a total serial killer, I don't know. Maybe he kind of saw, like, I guess I can't really eat people. I guess I kind of need to start.
Like a Dahmer type, you know?
Yeah.
Dahmer fucking... What was that one show? He, like, fed actual people to, like, a guy he was seeing, a deaf guy. But I don't know if that was just dramatized or actually based on fact.
That sounds like an ARG.
ARG? That's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh. Well, he didn't...
Serial killer, psychopath.
I mean, he didn't... But he didn't, like, cook them to, like, feed to someone else. He ate them himself, didn't he?
He fed them to someone apparently.
Oh, to
Like
someone.
a guy he was saying.
Maybe like maybe one of the people. But yeah, this person
It
was
was a
arguing
deaf
like
guy he met.
this person was arguing, be like, yeah, well, dead body parts, just like bringing home like dead chickens to eat, same thing. It's kind of like political
But
argument,
it's not, 'cause,
philosophical political argument, where it's like you should see this on like a Vosh panel.
Yeah, but like the thing is you can just bring up the science behind why we don't eat humans as a general practice. Not only is it just commonly not accepted, why would you want someone to eat? Like if you saw someone eating your uncle, you'd be upset, right? And also like the fact that like our brains are hardwired to be disgusted not only by like dead people. That's why, you know, but also to like consume it. It's not actually good for you. It makes you sick to eat a person.
Well, Spinling, you look like an idiot now, because I got this tweet up saying, anyways, before I go private, I just wanted to say that cannibalism was used for medical purposes up until the 19th century / European era, because that's a cool fact. Okay, bye everyone. You just got owned in real time.
Oh yeah, the unethical times when we didn't even clean our own tools before using them. Yeah, fucking.
Dude, cannibalism was...
Why it went out
was used in medical purposes in the 1900s, the 19th century, because people were really healthy in the 19th century.
Yeah,
the same era where they were like
plague every week.
The same era they would like use mummies and like grind them into paint, and like
the same
and
era
use like lead watches.
If you had a cold, they would beat you with a hammer to think it was fixing it.
Yeah, and then like radioactive watches people would have as well.
Yeah,
like radium in. I think it's not just radium, but like something in them.
The same period where if you tripped over, you had a high likelihood of just fucking dying because a chicken farted next to you.
Yeah. And then fucking, I guess this developed into something where someone was like, "Wait, this person actually killed someone?" Because I think there's a post that was like, you hit someone, like this person like hit someone with a hammer, and they ran away the moment they stopped moving. It could have been a self-defense thing. I don't really know. I don't really know if this is like that real either, because there was a friend who went on the account after and was like, "Guys, I'm sorry." So this person then kind of rebranded to be like, well, like a Fortnite account or like Fortnite Stan account or whatever. I don't know. They did say like they did refer to the instance. So I'm pretty sure like something like this happened, but it was probably only
From
like
transgender to Fortnite.
Not even trans. This person, but like
it's toothpaste sexual.
Toothpaste. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I forgot what it is. I'm not gonna lie, but like,
what even is the toothpaste flag? Let's look this up. Cool little.
You're gonna look it up. You can look it up, but I'll explain that this. So it seems like this whole incident where they apparently like earlier in life were, I guess, attacked by someone and they hit them with like a tool and they died. There was like a nasty head wound and they just like they ran away. I assume they've said like that like the police knows the actions and the therapist knows. So it seems like this was an actual incident where this person was like being fucking chased by someone, and it seems like the cannibalism stuff has developed from that. I don't know.
The toothpaste flag is apparently lesbian phobic.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
And that's the big discourse around it. I also found this banger fucking image. I'm putting this in the podcast, by the way. Look how raw that goes.
Oh, hang on, let me see. Dude, this looks awesome.
Yeah. Also this one.
You just literally
cool
just pull it.
Graphic showing up on the screen.
Okay, that actually looks kind of cool. That actually looks kind of cool. I like that.
Tier 2 member award for fucking Pancakeify.
Okay,
little emoji right there.
Okay, buddy.
I'm just looking at the docket we have and see if we've mentioned anyone else.
Dude,
have we mentioned all of them?
No, we haven't mentioned all of them. There's like one more. We can talk about it, but we're at over an hour right now. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I want to. It's kind of a dark story, but I do kind of want to talk about it because I was gonna make like a lot of this was because I was gonna make like a sequel to my first video about gimmick accounts. And eventually I didn't go through it with it, but like the research was still there.
No,
you know, it's just the idea of like just like the chaos of Twitter and how these people have all like fucking all around with each other, and it's like this is crazy. So there's another one, which is like one of the other like L's accounts, except it was common trans W's, which was like this one was a pretty. This one was actually probably the biggest one here, I think, in this entire list I've got, apart from Fallen Chungus. I think they were like around the same size as Fallen Chungus was at his peak, but this one was basically like the same concept of like, here's me posting trans W's, and me posting all this stuff, and here's people sending in their trans W's and be like, me posting the DMs and be like, wow, I was validated today. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever. So this person would kind of just be an account dedicated to like attacking transphobes, going up by people, and they got into a confrontation in December 2022 with a person known as Valid Els, which is another person you probably recognize. That one was the other one where it's like this one was like the equivalent of like this account, but like it's hate trans people and it's like goes after all these people. This is where they started. They used to be like a pretty small person, but like this whole argument that they had with two of them like ended up in this like account completely melting down and like failing to dox Valid Els, and subsequently from this, people started rallying around Valid Els, and like his account like started to blow up. I'm assuming it's his. I don't even know. There was a really dark thing with this account though. Again, so basically it started with like this. This was around a few months after the Valid Els stuff. There was kind of like a 15-year-old trans boy who was, getting involved in some truly awful stuff in the kind of like related to zoophile stuff. They made sexual tweets fantasizing about zoophilia, and it was pretty dark. It was, to anyone, it was pretty disturbing. You could see that, like, this is not how any normal 15-year-old acts. This person was probably being groomed and needed actual help. And like common trans W's, or Zach, as they were known, decided to send them a Twitter mob telling them to take their own life. When Zach was replying to this person, being like, mass report this individual, I hope you get stuffed into a locker, you don't deserve to live.
This, like, child?
Yes, 15-year-old, yeah. And in fairness, it's obviously, guys, it's bad. Because can we agree that it's bad to be a zoophile, MK? But like this person, I don't think this person hadn't like actually fucked a dog. I don't think. This person was purely like it was a post about fantasizing about zoophilia, which zoophilia is still wrong. But like this person's 15, it's pretty clear this person is like being groomed by someone else and is not like in the like mentally in the position. I think going like riling up a Twitter mob and telling them to like fucking die is not the right thing, because even though they didn't say it like directly, someone asked like, hey, do you think like trans people aren't valid if they're a zoo or like lollies? And they replied being like, no, they simply don't deserve to live, period. So after this, this like 15-year-old trans boy like sent Zach a kind of really panicked DM being like, I have an abusive transphobic family. I'm kind of fearful for my own life. I'm sorry about this stuff. This is all just like fantasy stuff. Again, the fantasy stuff, kind of dumb. But like, again, in this position, I'd be like, you can't. It's kind of a kid. Yeah, it's a kid. That's the issue. So Zach would just like post the plea for help and was just like, continuing to just fucking go at this person. And eventually, I think the thing they did was like, get the account taken down and quote tweet with like a KYS meme, which is rough because this person then did end up killing themselves.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's mad. I think the assumption at least is that's what happened, because the last picture they posted was like alluding to that, because it was like their legs dangling out a window.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it's horrific. So like obviously, the attention turned to common trans W's. It was like, oh wow, hang on, you've literally been KYS and all this shit, and you've been like directing all this like fucking shit towards this person. As like you've just made a 15-year-old kill themselves, and it was also like not the first time, because Zach had done it with another person who was like another 15-year-old who was accused of being like a racist, abusive lolicon. So Zach was completely just like, guys, let's go at this person. And this person also attempted to take their own life, but thankfully did survive.
Thank God.
And the entire
let's harass a child who doesn't understand what wrong things are, you know.
Yeah,
He's
literally.
probably in a community that is like supporting a child being into abusive tendencies.
Yeah. And then someone, obviously, people started talking about this stuff and was like, this person clearly weaponized their platform of over 70,000 people to harass a child into literally killing themselves. And Zach was like, sorry guys, made a thread being like, I'm sorry guys, the account's over, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. And then just completely lying about the situation, being like, I never wished harm on them. I just said they should take all electronic devices away from them. Not true. You look at the tweets clearly. And then obviously the account was over from then. So following that, the account was pretty much deactivated and then reactivated and cleared. Which turned out to be a terrible idea because someone hacked it and then started posting transphobic statements, pictures of gore, pictures of videos taking their own lives, like live leak shit, and the account was suspended. But this isn't the end of like Zach as a person. So after this account, Zach went under another account called like Deep Web Shitpost, which was just like an account that like posted like
that account.
Yeah, it was just an account that posted like a bunch of memes and stuff. And also just like a completely like a sociopathic reaction because someone tried to impersonate him, and he was like, "Imagine impersonating someone everybody hates Lamau," and you have to wonder like again, this person who's posting it is Zach himself, and it's like it's crazy. And then Zach obviously deactivated his account, and then the final blow kind of came on a few months later when someone posted saying that Zach was actually like never trans in the first place as he had claimed. So he wasn't like female to male. He was just male the entire time and just wanted to like run the account.
What a fucking stupid excuse to like have a trans positive account.
Yeah, just feel like even if you're just upfront with it, like that'd probably be fine. But like he just wanted to like present himself as such, just to be like, doing this stuff. So in the end, this person killed someone, possibly, got another kid to attempt their own life, has made the Validator L's account bigger, and has like completely like oh, hang on, do I have these DMs here as well? Yeah, these DMs where Zach says, like, he wants to be this person's friend. He says the same apology stuff. He claims he wanted to be a trans man because he liked the aesthetics. Which is, he's got, like, and he says he's got, like, gender envy. So this is, like, a completely delusional account who started as an account basically trying to, like, up trans people and whatever, big up them or whatever. And in the end has caused, like, way more harm because in doing so has actually allegedly killed a trans child or led to their death, led to another one attempting to take their own life, has like directly built up the Valid L's account as a result of all the fucking drama, and has now like completely torched themselves as like any kind of person because they weren't even trans in the first place. So it's like a complete implosion, and probably one of the obviously like one of the darkest shit I've ever seen. Obviously it's not I don't know if it's confirmed whether that person actually took their own life, but it seems very like likely considering what we saw.
And I assume there's no more information about that person continuing an online.
No, Zach's gone after that.
Like,
gone after that, yeah.
No, I meant like the child.
Oh no, no, there isn't. No.
Exactly. So it's an unfortunate, very, very big likelihood that the child unfortunately took their own life.
Yeah, it is a fucking dark ending. Kind of a reminder that like when you go on Twitter, you're gonna see like the thing is like. I've left Twitter recently, and I just completely cleared my account. There were some recent events, obviously, but there was like a thing where it's like, I kind of went and I was like, this does not help me at all. Like the interaction I get from this is completely like baseless. And the thing is with Twitter is that like, constantly the most mentally ill people will get success, and you can get success on Twitter pretty quickly if you know what to do, and if you can like, if you want to game it, if you really want to put time into it. But the issue is that like, Twitter is a collection where everyone can post, and these communities is arguably one of the biggest communities, and that leads to a lot of instability, mental instability, which is why Twitter fame is literally just like probably the worst kind of fame you could ever have.
It's a toxin.
Yeah, absolutely, it's a completely
because a lot of fame toxin. Like YouTube is you've kind of got to grind for it. A lot of the time to like be notable. Twitter is a method where you don't need to actually get on the computer and do it.
Yeah.
You can just tweet while you're on like the bus and stuff. Like I've done shit like that.
Yeah, and it's your emotions as well. Exactly. Like that's like Twitter's just a platform made to post the first thing like you think of. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So like to see like again, it's like the fact that these people have gone to this. The fact that I think anyone who has like their base on Twitter. It's just an immediate red flag because it's like such a place where it's like so toxic and everything is built on reputation, and you're constantly, I guess, being policed by your own side, and being like, well, what do you want to do here? And these people, obviously very mentally unstable, getting a fame out of nowhere, it doesn't lead to good things. Because you can see from some of the stories we've discussed here today.
Yeah, of
I don't know.
course.
It's gonna have it's a weird it's a very like dark legacy to have on Twitter, and obviously the platform's changed so much in the last 5 years even. Because people used to know Twitter was just like a place where people would post funny things and like just talk about it, and that's it. But I think like Twitter's obviously become a lot more political than it used to be, much like many other social media. But I think it's probably one of the most exaggerated, where like it's definitely become a lot more political than it was before, as compared to like other ones. So to see it like have like such a drastic a drastic change means that like I mean it goes to show that like this platform is like a complete toxin that you need to try and get out of, and like having fame on there might be one of the worst things if you don't have like something that grounds you, keeps you away from it. But the thing is, you can't have anything that grounds you on Twitter, because most of the time if you want to be famous on Twitter, you have to like you have to like start posting shit. You're going to be posting all the time every day. That's how you just get as much opportunity to get in the algorithm, because that's how you grow on Twitter. It's through like viral tweets, or through going on the For You page, or through like just a reputation of like being that person. And the gimmick accounts when they started, that was a reputation where it's like you can kind of be this person now. You can get it pretty easily, because it's just one thing. But again, it's like if you are like mentally ill enough to be posting on Twitter all the time, every single day about everything, it's not going to end well.
If it's the only thing you have that gets people to talk about you, then that's just a bad sign inherently.
Yeah. And the fact that like Twitter is now like
it's just a symbol to like any sort of semblance of I kind of need Twitter to boost my serotonin daily is a symbol that you genuinely need to like evaluate what the internet means to you.
And I feel like it's only gonna get worse, because like Twitter's like a monetization thing now, which
Sure.
obviously, so like people are gonna see it as a genuine career move. Now in fairness, I don't think it's been as exaggerated, because, for example, Common Trans W's was back in 2023. This was, I think, before the Elon takeover even. But I think now you're gonna see Twitter accounts that will probably have a lot more to lose. And they will fall harder and faster. I hope it's nowhere as dark as like some of the stuff we've seen today, like the Commons Trans W one. But like, I mean, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, you saw recently there was that woman who was posting on Twitter, who like is like one of Elon's many fucking people he fucked and had a kid with, and she's getting paid more, on Twitter and stuff. So that's obviously a caveat to it. It's weird because it's like, I think you see a lot of this stuff, with, I feel like a lot of it, it's like, I think this is inherently going to happen with a platform like this. I could see this happening on Blue Sky. I could see stuff like this happening elsewhere.
Well, Blue Sky, there was an issue with that. The people were sending or putting illegal stuff on Blue Sky, right? Because it wasn't tested yet. It wasn't.
It did remind me a bit of like all the Tumblr shit as well, when people started, because Tumblr in itself was a website where you had a lot of like, and this is kind of tying it a lot to Common Trans Ws, because obviously that's a massive fucking like massively dark topic, whereas all the other ones are kind of like, oh, these are things that happen and stuff. But the other one is like,
and these people are scared.
You wouldn't expect it from like such a progressive account, but also it's like there's like a completely like overblown reaction. It kind of comes from the Tumblr. It kind of does remind me of the Tumblr stuff, where people would go after people and it wasn't in the best way. It wasn't in the best kind of like format,
Yeah.
Twitter's like the mob. Twitter's like the mob. Yeah, that's it. Twitter's not even like
I think
not like
it's
not like the mob of like Sopranos, but it's like the mob of like a mob of people. The
mob of public opinion.
Yeah.
I think it is like a fact that Twitter is the most famous. I mean, if we're not counting Facebook, like social media platform, like in today's like time. purely just because of the fact that it's so easy to get locked into it. Like, it's kind of addicting, like, scrolling through tweets or making a tweet and it getting, like, a couple hundred likes, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know if it'll keep happening, but, I mean, you see all these gimmick accounts, it's like, I think things are changed now. You'll barely see any gimmick accounts that much because people are now becoming personalities, like you said before. People like those, like Bleffin or whatever, or like fucking Midas, are like these people now who you kind of recognize if you're like on Twitter. But it's whether these people like it's whether you'll know them more just like people who post memes or if they go beyond their kind of gimmick. You know, there was always a kind of a trend on Twitter of like, oh, breaking the gimmick award, where you like suddenly break a gimmick and talk about something else.
Where you say something seriously for a minute.
Yeah, and like when these people give their opinion, it's like these people, I think people followed them for like memes and stuff and like whatever it was. But now, if they post their opinions, people are gonna start giving them shit. And again, it's Twitter. Twitter's a weird one because it's like, unlike YouTube where you can just not read the comments if you don't want to, you will see every single reply that comes to you and every single quote retweet, and it'll add more pressure onto you. And it probably, if you're like an individual who's unstable for a Twitter platform, for like a public like platform, it's not going to be good for you.
It's damaging.
It's damaging, yeah, absolutely. It's a weird thing. Well, I guess we'll see what happens, though. I didn't want to end it on such a dark note, but I mean,
to anyone who wants to be the next Korn,
don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just make a YouTube channel or something.
You'll either get groomed or goon.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Or stay in school, kids, and become like a boring office worker.
Better advice.
Stay in school, kids. Yeah, that's good advice.
If you want to be a YouTuber or a Twitter personality, just fucking get a job.
Well, we're YouTubers. We can't really say that.
Job. We made it though. Look at us.
Made it.
WebNav podcast.
Hell yeah, that's true. That's so true. Well, I think we've taken something away from that podcast. Is that if you want to be an online personality, don't post aftermath at Wendy's.
Do not put. If you want to be an internet personality, just make sure you don't have a weird fetish. I think it's the biggest one.
I feel like it's becoming normalized now.
Farting,
I feel like these weird fetishes are
fetishes.
becoming normalized now. Online, it's a weird thing. I don't know. I keep seeing a lot of it happen everywhere. Previously, you'd only really have animated James back then, but now all the fart fetishes are everywhere. You see them everywhere you go.
The Brapping Gooners. They won't fuck off.
Yeah, Christ. I think we should end it there. It's been a good half an hour, hasn't it? Is it?
Oh yeah,
120
an hour
minutes.
and a half.
Oh fuck! I said an hour. Why did I say half an hour? It's the time of the podcast where like my mind will be running at a faster rate than my words, so I'll just start stumbling over like every single word I say.
That's why I was just like silent, like just letting you ramble about it.
Letting me
Having like on a Hitler side note.
Okay, dude. Yeah, back to fucking Hitler.
Okay.
All right. Well.
All right.
This has been the WebNav podcast. Okay, actually.
Okay.
Okay, you can do the outro, Spinling.
I'll do the outro. Are you sure? Are you allowing me?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure to fucking smash the like button, hit the bell, subscribe to Spinling and Toastify on YouTube, and follow our Twitters if you want, maybe.
Don't follow my Twitter.
Bye.